Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood badger back for another video. I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be playing in the upcoming Anomaleague 2 The Forgotten. Now, if you haven't heard about this private league, if you've been somehow living under a rock, this is a really cool private league put on by a bunch of awesome people in the community, like Lolcahol, a Wild Aussie. There's heaps of others as well. I'm really sorry if I'm forgetting your names, but there's a bunch of awesome people putting this on. And it is a private league that's supposed to kind of emulate hard mode, kind of the beta of hard mode, people are calling it. So the mods on this private league are no vendors, so you cannot sell items to vendors, you cannot purchase items from vendors, and you also cannot purchase gems from vendors as well, because that counts as a vendor. Now, Expedition guys, you can still craft with their menus and everything like that, so you can use Rog, Gwenin, Tujin, and Danig as well, which is great, means you can get rares out of that, because the other modifier is no magic or rare items drop. Now, throughout most of the game, this is fairly, it basically stays the same way. I think Delirium is kind of bugged in the way that it does actually drop rares at the end of it, but I think that's the only thing. Everything else is pretty much only dropping normal items, so this really forces you to craft. And this really forces you to really make very accurate decisions on what kind of gems you're going to be using through the leveling process, and then how you're going to farm maybe the rest of the gems for your build. Now, the last thing about this league is you can only play one of the 6 ascendancies of each of the 6 classes that is the least played in softcore trade this league. So that's Trickster, Champion, Inquisitor, Chieftain, Pathfinder, and Elementalist. Now, I was going through a lot of things and thinking about what to play. First of all, I was like, oh, I'm going to play a Shield Crush Poison Pathfinder. Then I was like, wait, Shield Crush is not actually even given by a vendor, so I can't even mule, say, a duelist for Shield Crush or anything like that. You can't even get Shield Crush apart from actually buying it from a vendor. So we'd have to just randomly drop that. Then I was like, maybe I'll play a Chieftain, War Chief type situation. I was like, maybe I'll play Face Breakers or do something else. But I was like, I don't really want to play that because I was hearing a lot of other people are going to play that. So off stream today, I was like, what am I going to play? And I've decided I will play one of the lowest played ascendancies, Inquisitor. Now, Inquisitor is 0.8% this league. And the reason that I want to play Inquisitor is actually because it's really versatile in using spells for criticals. And also Battle Mage is really versatile as well for finding any sort of weapon and just getting good generic damage out of that. So scaling Inquisitor, I think, is actually going to be really nice for damage. Now, it's a softcore league, so, you know, I'm going to be building pretty squishy because, you know, why not? Let's see what we can do. And I'm just going to be having fun. I'm not even planning the build out in terms of what skill I'm going to use. Endgame, I do actually want to get a cast on critical setup. I'm noticing most of the high-end DPS builds are cast on crits. Ice Spear is really massive. We've got cast on crit, Wave of Convictions, more Ice Spear, cast on crit, Ice Nova, some stuff like that. But cast on crit is so easy to get going because of the node Righteous Providence in Inquisitor. Now, this is going to be giving you 1% increased critical strike chance per strength or intelligence, whatever is lower. Gives you plus 50 to strength and intelligence. So this is, first of all, really nice just to give you base stats. In the endgame, you're going to be getting anywhere from 300 to 400 of the lowest stat. Just on this random 94 tree, there's at least 200, which is 200% increased critical strike chance, which is really delicious right there. And then you get a bunch of other stuff on the tree. So cast on crit is actually really easy to do. There's a bunch of really nice accuracy and crit chance staff nodes as well, and staffs actually work really well with Instruments of Virtue. If I can get a really nice, maybe Cane of Kulamak or something like that, with some good fizz damage and spell damage, I could make a really nice cast on crit Cane of Kulamak build. Now, what skills am I going to use? As I said, I'm not actually going to plan this out because I kind of want this to be as hard mode as possible for me. I want to go into it going, yeah, maybe I'll start with Stormbrand. Maybe I'll switch to something else if I drop that or find that from the vendor or something like that, or as a quest reward. But I probably in the end game, because the way that Instruments of Virtue works with Battle Mage and the scaling on both Purifying Flame and Wave of Conviction, they have really high added damage effectiveness. I'm thinking either of those two as a cast on crit setup would be really nice. That actually works really well with Consecrated Ground from Sanctuary, Pious Path, etc. And then just trying to stack as much kind of crit chance, crit multi, and generic Fizz as extra LE damage, Fizz as fire mostly, increased physical damage, increased spell damage, all of that kind of stuff. And then later I can even go into Pain Attunement if I want, and go something like the Bloodthirst is it's called. I think that that aura is called. I can't remember what it's called. You know what it's called, the one that makes you not able to regenerate life above low life. So that's the idea. Now, as I said, it's not really planned out because I do want it to be like that. It's going to be really fun to play like this, I think. Now, the issues and pitfalls I'm going to fall into, obviously, are, you know, I'm not planning the build out. Things could trip me up. Like, maybe I'm really just trying to get this gem and I can't find it, or something like that. Although I'm not really too fussed about that because there are about 1,800 people going to be playing this league. So I think I'm going to get what I want. But it's really not reliant on anyone else to be able to farm my gear, especially with things like Rogue and Gwenin in the game, especially with things like Heist in the game as well. There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of target farming of certain areas as well, mostly Heist, trying to get some good, like a good staff with maybe some good crit or attack speed or something like that to be able to start my cast on crit. Now, a good thing for cast on crit is I'm probably not going to switch over to cast on crit until I have about 80% flat critical strike chance without like a diamond flask or anything like that. Now, on Inquisitor, that actually is pretty easy to get to, just because of that generic increased crit chance that you do get there, but I'm going to need some crit chance on the staff itself. That's all I really have to say. You know, that's basically it. Let me know what you think. Maybe I will go into full low life with something like this with Ice Spear. But we're going to have fun on twitch.tv/thisisbadger. Now, I'm not going to be starting right on the start. I think it starts in like 5 hours time. I'm going to bed really soon, but I'm going to wake up about 6 hours after. So I'm going to be starting once everyone's kind of like getting to maps or is halfway through the story or something like that. I'll be starting, trying to play this Inquisitor all the way up. For those of you who watched my stream today, sorry that I'm changing the build that I'm going to be playing. I saw that actually a ton of people are going to be playing this, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to be super adaptable, go Inquisitor, play something cast on crit, see how I can make that work, and yeah, just have fun with it. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoy this content, hit the sub button. That's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching, and until next time, Badger is out.